Hello, welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing Discworld Noir. Finally we managed to get inside the inner sanctum, and I don't know what do we do here. That's actually a nice coloring. This is actually quite atmospheric. Well, fortunately this is a small area. Can I... Oh, okay.
The inner sanctum sported a beautiful lectern. The plaque said it was donated to the temple by Mr. Fidean, of the militant servitors of Ikebana, goddess of topiary. Searching, I discovered there was a cavity in the base of the lectern.
Okay, cavity. So, are we going to use it?
There were small stained glass windows in the inner sanctum depicting the story of how a valiant mortal, pure and gentle, was cruelly tricked, taunted, and tortured by the gods. Just for a laugh.
Right. Anything else?
The space under the lectern was large enough to fit a whole person inside. Unfortunately, there wasn't much room to move inside. And to my embarrassment, I got stuck.
Lewton! They're coming! Hide!
I'm way ahead of you, Malaclips.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered together in the sight of our God, Anu Anu, to speak of our devotion to the Anointed One at this, our time of need. But before today's sermon, I'd like to read from the cult bulletin for a moment. Firstly, there's a jumble sale next Saturday to raise funds to buy a fresh goat to sacrifice. We'd appreciate it if as many cultists as possible could attend. We don't want to have to sacrifice another pigeon. It hardly befits a deity of the illustrious wonder of Anu Anu to be sacrificed another of Mrs. Jerboam's gerbils either. Yes, I know they breed like flies, but that's not the point.
The sermon was one of the most tedious things I'd ever had to listen to. And as if that wasn't bad enough, then the hymns started. Why the gods wanted to listen to such droning monotony was a mystery to me, but I suspected they just liked to make the mortals suffer.
Okay.
The temptation to sink something sharp into Mooncalf's feet was getting very hard to resist.
What can I do with that? Oh, I have faint recollection. Do we use the perfume? Because that would be a great thing to follow. Oh. Oh, was I too slow? What now? No. This is automatic. I'm not doing anything at the moment.
I tried to follow Mooncalf, but he moved quickly and his scent was rapidly swallowed up by the stench of the Ankh.
Okay. Yeah, we need to use the perfume to his feet. But I have to be faster and double click, because that is one of those things I somehow remember. That it was... I was stuck in this situation quite for a while until I realized, yeah, we need to use perfume and we can follow that because it's a very...
I need your... I need to get... off.
Very efficient. So yes, we need to do this again. Sorry about that. There's only a little time we can do it, and I didn't remember I need to double click. Hopefully we can just go in. Can I skip? Yeah, I can skip. Can I use it right now? Ah, yes.
I sprayed Mooncalf's feet with Sapphire's trawl perfume. That should make the little psychopath a little easier to follow.
Fortunately, it was a little faster this time. Yeah, that I remembered. I had a trouble with that in the early parts.
Sapphire's perfume cut through the stench of the river like a troll wading through a dwarf street rally. The bright reek led into the shades, the oldest and most dangerous part of the city. As a wolf, I listened to what the so-called true believers were saying through one of the windows of the sanctuary.
Greetings, brethren. I call to order this extraordinary general meeting of the secret cabal of the true believers of Anu.
You smell nice tonight, boss.
What?
What is that? KC2?
What are you blathering about, Foyd? Anyway, I see we're all present.
Therma not present, boss.
Therma has to keep a low profile at the moment. Do not concern yourselves with her absence.
Why should Therma have such special status? I have important business of my own to be doing, and these interruptions aid no one.
Quiet, satrap. Mooncalf wouldn't have called us together if it wasn't important.
Indeed not. There is an investigator, a Mr. Lewton, who's been asking worrying questions. I think he may know about Nylon Ethertep.
I do now.
I still say this is madness. There must be a better way to glorify our beloved Anu without taking such risks.
You always were the spineless one, Coombe.
Silence, Kondo. As chairman, I will not permit such disputes when the meeting of true believers has just been called to order.
When can we have a dispute?
It can wait until we reach any other business.
Damn.
Shh! What is it?
I heard something outside.
They say bravery is what tells the men from the boys. Well, I was a wolf, so I figured I could be brave and still run away.
Okay, so what we learned, come on, is interesting. Nylon Ethertep. Yes, of course we have Cthulhu in this game. Well, Cthulhu lore, more like it. Like a save, not Cthulhu. So that also I remembered, and now what can we do? Let's see if I can go to the sanctuary now. Yes, I can. That's good. Oh, he made automatically there. Fresco.
The sanctuary was decorated with a strange and disturbing fresco. Closely examining the fresco, I could see that one of the symbols made a frequent appearance.
Oh, really?
The recurring symbol on the fresco was like a distorted star with an eye in the center. I wasn't sure what it was. I made a sketch of the symbol in my notebook.
I probably... Interesting. It ring twice. I probably can go and see it in the library. Map of Ankh-Morpork.
For some reason, the cultists had a map of Ankh-Morpork in the sanctuary. I couldn't easily take the map, but I could use it to work out some things.
What things exactly? This reminds me of a little bit River Thames. Not much, but a little bit. We got a strange symbol. Okay.
For some reason, I couldn't ease, but I could.
Oh, I don't know. Is that it? Because I can't move anywhere here. Basically just straight inside the... Oh, wait a minute. Can I change to the... Oh, no, 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 don't go out. Don't go out.
The scent of the troll perfume blotted out everything else in the sanctuary.
Oh, no. That's not good.
The scent...
Well, at least I tried. Right. Can I use the symbol on the map?
The map couldn't help with that. For some reason, the...
Because we need to do something with that map. Killings. Where's the murders? Murders. Counterweight killings. Can I... Do I have it chosen? Basically, what I'm thinking, maybe... Because we know where they were killed, maybe that helps. That's the usual thing, but... How things are done in crime games.
The murders seem to be along the edge of a circle. I guess if there were any more murders, they'd take place somewhere on that circle too. In the center of the circle was the Disc Theater. Oh, I had a bad feeling about that.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Finally, things looking for Millhouse. Ah, Disc Theater. But I want to use the library.
Who would sell?
Library. We have...
I'd like very...
We have things to search. Lewton. No, we don't have anything in inventory, but... Murders. Come on, back. Nylon Nutatap. Actually, we could check about the errata also. I don't know, it's not important, but I want to know if there's any information about it.
The Necrotelicomnicon was a book that legend spoke of, saying that any mortal man who read it would be driven insane. I learnt about it from a copy of Necrotelicomnicon discussed for students with practical experiments that I found in the library. In this tome, there is a description of the old dark gods of the Disc, including the terrible laddering holler, Nylon Athatep. Apparently, Nylon Athatep was once summoned by a series of 8 murders, forming a perfect octagram, focused at the center of the Circle C, thus releasing it from the sunken city of Leshp, where he was trapped, along with drunken Cthulhu Bapalulu. The book speculated about the whereabouts of Nylon Athatep now, but beyond him being safely imprisoned somewhere around the Circle C, it drew no conclusions.
Oh, those Julian names, definitely nice. What else? What else? Oh, octagram. But. No. I want to go. Come on. Unchoose it. I want to see them. Other things first. So let's, because I'm gonna check all these, then we are gonna check the symbols also. But I want to see...
The only literature I could find on errata in the library was a leaflet published by Malaclips, who gave his permanent address as the only really holy corner of the Temple of Small Gods.
Right. Should have guessed. Strange symbol.
I found the obscure star-like symbol in the Necrotelicomnicon discussed for students. It called it the sign of the eel, or the Elver sign. It was apparently a protective ward against some of the older, darker gods of the Discworld. The tome also explained how to inscribe one, the order of tracing being very important. Not that I believed any of this mumbo-jumbo, but hey, you can't afford to be too careful, right?
Elder sign. Yeah, I need to check every last one of these things because, yeah. No. Octagram of Murders.
I looked up the Octagram of Murders in the library, but I could only find the entry I'd already seen in Necrotelicomnicon discussed for students.
Necrotelicomnicon, not Necronomicon. That we had in Shadow of the Comet. Sign of the Eel. Anything new? Probably not, but I still check.
I checked that I had remembered how to draw the sign of the eel correctly, and I had.
Okay, what else? Basically, I don't know if I need to... Okay, we have those. I don't think I need to check these. I can't even do anything with them, I think. Oh no, I can. But I'm guessing I get the same answers anyway, so I'll just check it, and if that is the case, then I'll...
I checked that I had remembered how to...
Yes, I think we're done here. So I want to go to the new place. The Disc Theater.
Everyone on the disc knows the legend of Eleanor of Tzot. Or at least everyone knows a legend of Eleanor of Tzot. Or Krinix. Or El Harib. Ask most people and they'll tell you that she was the cause of the Tzotian Wars. Of course, ask most people and they'll tell you the patrician is a kind and benevolent man. Never trust what most people tell you. The real cause of the Tzotian Wars was a little-known goddess called Errata.
Okay. Oh, flyer.
There was a flyer left behind on one of the seats.
Well, that was dramatic.
The stage, where performers go up in front of a drunken crowd and sell their dignity to earn enough money to barely live on. It made me think that all the discs a stage and all the people players. Unfortunately, I felt like I'd been cast as an extra in my own life story.
You are not that wrong. I can't talk to him. Can I change to...
If I was going to turn into a wolf, I'd better do it where Privitier couldn't see me.
Where would that be? What?
I'd picked up the theater flyer from the Disc Theater. It told me about the plays in the Disc's current season. The 8 plays in sequence were The Happy Prince of Copperhaven, Antilogy and Cleopatra, Kensington, The King of Ankh, The Leering King, The Tyrant, Truculus and Cressylic, and Titus Diplodocus. The flyer didn't tell me anything about them, though.
Oh. Is that something we have to find out? 8 plays, 8 murder. Guess we have to go back to the library, but I would like to use my werewolf skills. What happens if I go right back in?
Al-Khali was still following me, but he was concealing himself better since my little discussion with Horst.
Okay, fine. I'll check my office, then I go... Yeah, there's nothing there. So... I'll go and check if I can...
Who would say like...
If I could use the library
I'd like very well.
on the place. As it seems like he was hinting that we need to know about those plays. Maybe we don't, but... Okay, at least we're doing something.
I looked up Hwell in the library and found his complete works. In there was a discussion of the 8 great tragedies, Hwell's bloodiest works. From the About the Author paragraph, I learned that Hwell was a dwarf who was banished from his tribe not only because of his claustrophobia, but because of his tendency to daydream. Both undesirable, to say the least, if you work in a mine. 102, and in the prime of his life for a dwarf, Hwell now worked for Vittler's Plays at the Disc Theater as one of the premier playwrights of the day. The 8 great tragedies were given in great detail. 8 plays, each with a collection of murders, usually with one more particularly gruesome or grotesque than the others, presumably for use in publicity trailers. The publicity trailers helped draw people into the theater by being towed around town to display posters. There was something suspiciously familiar about some of those murders.
Claustrophobic dwarf. That would be a bad thing for a dwarf. 8 great tragedies. But I want to see the theater once more, because how he said that when the guy is not seeing, it would allude that I need to... Well, interesting, I can't talk to him. Where do I want to go? Because I can't... Well, we could go...
Who would say like...
Let's see if the Carlotta will.
I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home?
I will go and announce your presence, and she will tell me if she is.
You can't keep yourself away from me, can you, Lewton?
I just wanted to ask some more questions.
Can I ask you about 8 great...
Do you know anything about the 8 great tragedies?
I'm sure you can think of something better to ask me, Lewton.
Okay,
Have you heard of Nylon Athatep?
No. What is it?
Never mind.
Octagram of murders?
Does an octagram of murders mean anything to you?
An octagram of murders? No. Should it? I mean, it's something magical, obviously, but other than that...
Why is it obviously magical?
Well, 8. It has occult significance, doesn't it?
Does it? How do you know that?
When you marry into the von Überwalds, you learn about these things.
Why?
There is a lot of occult goings-on in Überwald. It's the national pastime.
8.
What else do you know about the number 8?
It goes between 7 and 9?
Don't play dumb with me.
What would you like me to play?
I meant about the occult significance of the number 8.
Well, I'm no expert.
Anything might be useful.
You think the occult is involved in this case somehow?
I'm convinced of it. I think it's something to do with Nylon Athatep, the laddering horror.
The laddering horror?
A creature from the dungeon dimensions.
Well, I understand there's something about the harmonics of the number that is attractive to the denizens of the dungeon dimensions. But that's all I know, really.
Okay, that was interesting. Elder sign.
Until I was sure, and frank...
Could I use the octagram of murders to the map? Honestly, it wouldn't hurt. I might...
I'll be in touch.
I'll be waiting.
I could try to use those dings. Little boss, be right back. So, no, don't go out. Stay. Octagram of murders. If that doesn't work, I could use this. I don't know if that works, but I can't think anything else. No, double click.
The murders were marking out a perfect octagram, just like the one that had been used to free Nylon Athatep from sunken Leshp centuries ago. If I was right, there would be 2 more murders, one in Tegan Street and one in the Wizard's Pleasance. If I knew which one was next, I could stake it out. In the center of the octagram was the Disc Theater, which almost certainly meant some kind of cosmic evil was entombed there. I can't say I was enthusiastic at the thought of checking it out.
So, am I supposed to go back to the theater and do something there? Okay, I'll make a save here. Okay, sorry, somebody's messaging me. I'll have to check it quickly. Be right back. And back. So,
how did I know if Ilsa was there or not?
What? Well, what was that? Okay, we got Dagon Street. Obviously, we do have to have Dagon. And where's the last place? Ah, Wizard Pleasance. But before that, let's see the disc. No. Is there anywhere I can go? What happens if I walk to the stage? Can I just... Oh. Oh, right. I should have come closer. Fine. Can I talk to you?
That's pretty good. You've been acting long.
One is either born an actor, or one is never an actor.
Yeah, I can just see you paddling about the womb with a script in hand.
Do you doubt my credentials as the Disc's premier performer of dramatic scenes?
As far as I'm concerned, one actor is as good as another. You come on, you speak your lines, and then you get killed. How hard can it be?
Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man. Do you slight me such?
What?
You are not abreast of Hwell's fair pen, then, stranger.
The name's Lewton. And no, I don't know Hwell's work at all.
My name is Previtier, and my realm is that of tragedy and comedy. The finest arts are my purview.
Yeah, if you say so.
Okay, let's talk to him.
So you're an actor?
It is my calling to tread the boards, and for this I am called an actor.
Translation, yes. Why do you talk like that?
When one is blessed with silk, one does not wear cotton.
What's that supposed to mean?
You are not familiar with the ways of the theater, are you, my boy?
No. I always thought it was about getting killed in a different way every night.
Well, that's part of it. But it's also about the lines, the pomp and the circumstance. Men in skirts. Yes, yes. The play's the thing.
To catch the cash flow of the dim.
You disapprove? A man must his living make.
If he could make it with decent grammar, I wouldn't mind.
You should come and see the spectacle. Perhaps then you would cast less scorn upon our merry ways.
You want me to go to see a play?
Come to hear the wooden dialogue.
That's not much of a quote.
It was the best I could do at short notice.
What's playing at the moment?
Troculus and Chrysalic. The tale of the frailty of woman and the stupidity of a man in love.
With a lot of bloody deaths thrown in for good measure.
But of course.
Okay, about the plays.
Tell me about the plays.
Would that I had the time to sing the praises of all Hwell's masterworks. But time is short and life is fleeting.
Just tell me about the plays.
Our current season is a groundbreaking interpretation of Hwell's most famous works, pushing back the boundaries of art and style.
Groundbreaking?
'Tis a term we of the noble calling use to describe the way each generation improves and expands upon the themes laid bare in the soul by inspiration.
In other words, your murder scenes look more and more realistic every year.
The triumph of effects.
Unfortunately, the triumph of effects over plot.
The plots are as entrancing as the day they were first written.
In other words, you haven't had any new ideas in decades.
If the way is true, why err from it?
One could say it's even true today. Ask about Nylon Natata.
What would you say if I told you I suspected people are being murdered to summon a terrible entity to destroy the city?
I would say, doomsday is near, die all, die merrily.
That's from one of these silly plays, isn't it?
The King of Ankh, Act 4, Scene 1.
I was serious, you know. The disc might be the focal point for infernal forces that could destroy the city. I'd enjoy talking to you a lot more if you'd just stop quoting those damn plays. Do you realize how pathetic this makes you look?
What? Must I hold a candle to my shames?
You know, I think I'll be glad if this place does get destroyed by horrors from beyond time and space.
It'd be great publicity. Should I tell them how to spell my name?
Okay, octagram of murders.
What would you say if I told you I suspected people are...
I would say...
Okay, okay.
Do you...
What?
Do you know...
Should I tell...
Elver sign?
I didn't want to mention that they'd think I was...
I don't think we can get anything out of him. One thing... What did the Lewton say when I... Oh, no, wait. If I'm here... Lewton...
If I was going to turn into a wolf, I'd better do it where Previtier couldn't see me.
Well, I can't move over there, but I can move towards stage. So... Well, I'll try.
I quickly transformed into a wolf and had a sniff around. There was an eerie, dark magenta scent in the theater. But what caught my attention was the magenta scent that seemed to disappear into the stage. My murderer had been here.
Marks. Come on. Come on.
Where the scent had disappeared, there were some marks. I couldn't quite make them out, but they seemed to be a definite shape of some kind. I ran my finger around the marks casually. There was something about them that made you want to trace things on them, like a smiley face or a tic-tac-toe board. Well, something like that. Maybe something a little more sinister.
Do we use... Could we try these?
I traced an octagram on the marks, but nothing happened. I had a feeling it was the right idea, but the wrong shape.
Oh, obviously, yes, yes. Ah, okay. Good thing we tried. So, yeah, sign of the
All
eel.
this occult...
Is it? I hope it's chosen. Hopefully I have... Come on.
I traced the sign of the eel across the marks, exactly as I'd learned how to do in the Libraris Apocrypha. There was a faint click, and the next thing I knew, there was a passageway under the stage.
This almost feels like an eternal...
The passageway led into a dark and ominous vault. The whole sepulchral temple seemed to be formed from curves and angles that would give geometry teachers nightmares.
I was saying that this reminds me of Eternal Darkness a little bit. What do we have here? We can't go over there. We can go back and we have an altar. Can I turn?
It seemed like a good plan at the time. I'd transform into a wolf and see what my senses told me. But when the dark magenta scent engulfed me, I was struck with a wave of sheer terror, and I ran howling from the temple. It was embarrassing having to sneak back down again naked to collect my clothes, and I decided not to try that again in a hurry.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. He described what happened, but we didn't see it in the animation. Well, good thing we didn't, because it would have taken a time, but still interesting. Is that something that... I don't know, maybe they have time constraints and couldn't animate it or something like that. Because, like I said, when we were going to the skylight, there's no climbing animation, but when we go to through the wall, hole in the wall, we have a climbing animation. Now we just had a description what happened, but we couldn't see. Okay, but anyways, I digress.
The centerpiece to this disturbing chamber was a stone altar engraved with a map of the Circle C. It looked centuries old, the kind of altar that could tell a few tales if it could talk. I was glad it couldn't. The map of the Circle C seemed to be the only interesting feature of the altar.
What do we have? We have, well, octagram of murders. Do I use these?
Using the map, I worked out where each of the 8 great tragedies had taken place. They made an octagram around the edge, just like the counterweight killings did in Ankh-Morpork. I could match each of the tragedies to one of the murders, and the positions corresponded precisely. I knew that someone was going to get dragged to death from the Wizard's Pleasance, and that some unlucky fellow was going to get eaten in Dagon Street.
Okay. So, I don't...
The centerpiece,
yes.
It looked... I was glad it couldn't.
Wait.
The centerpiece to this disturbing chamber was a stone altar engraved with a map of the Circle C. It looked centuries old, the kind of altar that could tell a few tales if it could talk. I was glad it couldn't.
I don't think there's anything else we can do here. At least not for now. So I need to go probably Dagon Street and what was it? What was it? Visit Pleasance. Let's go to the Dagon Street first.
The moon over Dagon Street lit the rundown alley. It didn't look like anyone was around. It was as abandoned as the Octarine Parrot on open stage night.
Okay, I'll take a quick break. Be right back. And back. Let's see what can we do here. I think this leaves... Yeah.
Al-Khali was still following me. But he was concealing himself better since my little discussion with Horst.
Okay. So, boarded up shop front. Oh, this is rather a sign.
One of the shops in the street was called the Three Jolly Luck Takeaway Fish Bar. I remembered that name from somewhere. Something to do with Mr. Hong. I remember he went missing somehow.
Missing somehow, okay.
The abandoned fish bar was boarded up tight.
Do I have anything I should have crowbar, I think. Before that, I could... No, Lewton, stay.
I didn't like to transform in the streets. You never knew who was watching.
Fine. Nope, Lewton. Yes, I do. What are we going to do with that envelope? Or bandages, I don't know. Okay.
Where I'd pulled away the boards was an open window.
So let's go in. There's debris. Pots. Can I now change? Aha.
I wasn't sure.
Can I?
The dark magenta scent was like nothing I had ever smelled. It terrified me. There was a disturbing dark magenta scent in the fish bar, something that resonated with cosmic evil. It scared me. It scared me that anything could have such a disturbing scent. And it scared me that I could tell what color cosmic evil was.
Okay. So we have dark magenta and magenta. Okay, we have two magenta. Fine. I guess that's it for sniffing then. So, pots.
The fish bar was full of cooking pots. Only to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so.
I don't know what the last thing cooked here was, but it seemed to have been prepared recently.
Recently? Really? Okay, I guess we need to check the debris.
The fish bar was littered with assorted debris. Amongst the debris, I found a bone that seemed a little out of place. The bone seemed out of place somehow. I wasn't sure why.
Can I? Okay.
I knew there was something familiar about the bone. It was a human femur. Just like in Titus Diplodocus, someone had been dismembered and eaten. That meant there was only the wizard's pleasance to go, and the octagram would be complete.
Right. We are apparently not taking the bone, so we need to go to the wizard's pleasance. I think, because I don't think there's anything else in here. Well, we have to go back if I missed something.
The Wizard's Pleasance was a small, newt-haunted meadow in a horseshoe bend in the Ankh, inside the grounds of the Unseen University, separated from it but connected to the university gardens by the Bridge of Sighs. On summer evenings, if the wind is blowing towards the river, it is a nice area for a stroll.
Oh, sorry. Dog. Can I talk to the dog?
I wasn't an expert on dogs, but I thought that this black, thoroughbred dog was a Klachian hound, also known as the Kelef Klachani. Small, proud, and ruthless, the Kelef Klachani were prized by dog breeders throughout the Circle Sea. What this one was doing out on the streets was anyone's guess.
Haven't we seen it earlier in the Archaeological Guild? Anyways, can I talk to it?
I thought about petting the dog, but there was something about the way he looked that made me think twice, maybe even 3 times about it.
Okay, can I...
I didn't want to transform in such an exposed area.
Fine, we have wall, we have bushes, and... well, to be honest, that's about it. Which is, honestly, not a lot.
The Pleasance was cut off from the city by a tall exterior wall. I couldn't easily scale the wall.
Okay, where are you going? Okay, that's weird.
The Pleasance was full of dense bushes.
Okay.
I didn't know how long I'd have to wait until something happened, but it turned out to be less than I thought. I'd suspected I'd been being followed, and I wasn't surprised to find that Al-Khali was skulking around behind me. Gods alone knows how he got into the university, but if I could do it, I guess anyone could. It was over in seconds. I was about to follow the killer's trail when I saw a familiar face.
Why did you carry on with the case, Lewton?
Too many people told me to stop.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. I like you, Lewton. It didn't have to be this way.
So you're behind this, are you?
I'm just a servant. My master, Anu, is behind this.
That beast is Mooncalf's god?
Mooncalf didn't start this cult. I did. When the last human worshippers of Anu had passed on, leaving only an empty temple in their wake, the cult lived on among the lycanthropes. My late husband got me involved, and I came back to Ankh-Morpork to arrange everything.
Came back?
I thought you'd realize, Lewton. I'm Therma.
It figures. You killed Malachite, didn't you?
I didn't kill any of them. My master did that. We just arranged everything for him. He's stronger when we gather together and pray.
You were in the Temple of Small Gods each time there was a murder.
It was a perfect alibi.
Why was Malachite looking for you?
I'm his sister.
His sister? Hands up who can spot the big problem here.
I was adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Karst. They named me Therma. And Malachite and I grew up together.
What happened?
It's a tough life when you're a poor troll. And tougher still when you weren't born a troll. I used to sit at the table eating bread, while the rest of the family was chewing cold sandwiches. That kind of thing leaves its mark on a girl.
My heart bleeds for you.
Malachite and I broke into the von Uberwald mansion and made off with some of the Count's valuables, including that pendant you've been carrying around.
And that jeweled box in the carriage that presumably held the asp that poisoned Reagan.
That's right.
How did you and Malachite get separated?
He got caught, but he didn't tell the watch about me. I thought I'd seen the last of him. I sold most of what I got, and I was living off it comfortably. But I'd seen that painting in the hallway, and it got me thinking.
The painting that looks like you?
Exactly. I reinvented myself as a debutante, and I seduced Ulrich and married into high society. I went back to Uberwald with him, changed my name to Carlotta, and my life as a troll was forgotten. Therma was dead. Long live Carlotta von Uberwald.
Did you know Ulrich was a werewolf?
Not until the honeymoon. That was a surprise, I can tell you. Not entirely an unpleasant one, I have to say.
How did you get involved in this cult business?
Before he died, Ulrich inducted me into the worship of Anu Anu, and it became my mission to engineer his return to power. I recruited followers and we prayed to him, gradually awakening his consciousness. He'd been stuck in the form of a small dog on the streets of Al-Khali for decades, not even remembering who he was. As our numbers grew, Anu Anu's power grew, and eventually he was able to slip aboard a ship and steal his way here to Ankh-Morpork.
The Milka.
That's right. The Milka also stopped off at Sort, where it picked up Mundy. He was supposed to be bringing us the Sortese falchion, having stolen it from a dig at Sorta. The archaeologists didn't even know it was there. Unfortunately, what we hadn't counted on was that Mundy was a man with few scruples and even less brains to go with it. Either he approached Horst, or Horst approached him. One way or another, he arranged to sell the sword to that devious troll.
Only he didn't have the sword, did he? He'd concealed it in one of the crates in the cargo hold.
We didn't know that. We just knew that Mundy had gone to ground. That's why I hired you to find him.
And when I did, your cult killed him. Only you'd expected the sword to be with him. And by the time he was dead, it was too late to ask him where he'd put it.
We couldn't believe our luck when you found the sword for us after Mundy's death. I'm sorry that my master had to stab you to get it.
Did you know I was going to get killed? Was that why you made me into a werewolf?
I suspected that things would get a little rough for you, and I believed you were too valuable an asset to waste.
I'm flattered. And the counterweight killings were your cult attempting to summon Nyarlathotep by mimicking the way he was summoned before. I don't get it.
With the falchion, my master can defeat the laddering horror again, and he will grow in power, ascending to the ranks of the most powerful gods, where he belongs.
That's all very well, but a lot of people died for that dream. You can't just go around killing people whenever the notion strikes you. It's not polite.
What are the lives of a few people against the prize?
Reagan knew, didn't he? Or at least suspected.
I don't know what he actually knew, but he suspected a lot. He'd been blackmailing me for weeks. He had to go.
Why are you telling me all this?
It's customary for the villain to explain his evil schemes when the hero is captured.
I'm no hero, and you're no villain either. We're just people.
You know it's not too late, Lewton. Join us.
Join your cult? What happens if I refuse?
There's no point in refusing. It's already too late to stop the summoning of Nyarlathotep. Al-Khali was the 8th murder. Even now, the other cultists are gathering at the focal point for the invocation.
That would be the temple under the Disc Theater, I take it.
You're good. I'll give you that. Let's go, or we'll miss the pre-summoning.
What if I try to stop you?
Like I said, it's already too late for that. Join us, Lewton. You know it's the only choice.
I could kill you and make a run for it.
You wouldn't hurt me, would you, Lewton? After all we've been through.
You arranged the murder of your own brother, and you'd have me killed too if I got in the way.
So what? In this world, you get one chance at happiness.
You may be right. All right. I'll go along with this for now. But I'm not making any promises for the future.
That's good enough for me.
Carlotta told me she would have to bind me in case I got any foolish ideas, and then she escorted me into the depths of the temple. It looked like the whole crowd was there. As well as Carlotta, I recognized Mooncalf and Warb, the wizard from Saturnalia. 8 of them in all. 1 for each person on the list. But my attention was drawn to the hulking mass of Anu Anu, and the golden sword that he was wielding like it was a toothpick.
It begins.
Take your places, people. Everyone remember your lines.
Nylonethatep, who summoned thee? In accordance with the ancient pacts, we have made 8 sacrifices in the manner prescribed. Come to us.
I was filled with an overwhelming sensation of dread. I guess summoning rituals have that effect on me.
It is here! Now I command you, by the power of the Fashion, to bend to my will. Bend to my will, I command thee. I hold the Fashion. You will obey me.
I got the impression that that wasn't supposed to happen. The next thing I knew, the temple was coming apart at the seams, and rocks were falling everywhere. I don't know what was wrong, but it seemed as if Anu Anu couldn't control the unspeakable force of cosmic horror that he had unleashed, and now it was loose in the city. As if my day wasn't bad enough already. After the rubble had settled, I pulled myself out from under it and had a look around. The temple seemed different somehow, and not just because the roof had caved in. Anu Anu was lying in a crumpled heap on the other side of the chamber, and Carlotta was tending to his wounds. The rest of the cult had made their getaway. Everyone but Warb, whose luck had taken a permanent turn for the worse.
Okay, this is interesting. I could check
It
this.
looked as if part of the ceiling had rearranged most of Warb's head. The only thing of interest on Warb's body was the charm bracelet, and I didn't want to take that back. I only hope he got some good luck out of it before his final payoff came. Maybe I should have warned him. Maybe he got what he deserved. Who was I to judge?
Yes, Anu Anu.
For a god, Anu Anu was looking in a bad way. Carlotta was obviously upset by Anu Anu's injuries. I guess there was a heart in that cold chest somewhere.
Can I talk to Anu Anu?
I tried to listen in to what Anu Anu was saying, but his voice was weak and faltering.
I should have known. The inscription. I forgot the inscription.
Quiet, Master. Conserve your strength.
Come on, Carlotta, let's get out of here before the rest of the roof comes down.
I'm not leaving my master.
He's not going to make it. You can at least save yourself.
Leave us, Lewton. Leave!
Inscription. Interesting, I just noticed.
An inscription had appeared on the wall. Maybe it had been there all the time, and I just couldn't read it. I wasn't sure.
Can I see that?
It seemed to say, Quod nescient eos interficit. I didn't know what it meant. Quad meant what, but that was all I knew.
Okay, we will find that out. I can't remember if
there was something about the walls that I didn't like. I think it was the way they wouldn't stop swimming.
Interesting, interesting. So we are in Act 4. Anything? Oh, there's rubble.
Sometimes I wondered if these ancient temples were designed to fall in on themselves at dramatic moments.
That may be true.
I searched the rubble and uncovered the golden falchion. The sword was bad luck, but I had a feeling it was safer in my hands than anyone else's.
Okay, that's good. It's good we have that. I'm thinking that this is end of this part, because we are in Act 4. And if memory serves, the Act 4 might not be... Well, I don't know how long that is. So I think that I will leave that for the next episode. It was quite hilarious what the Carlotta said, that it's customary that the evil characters always explain their plot at the end. That was one hell of a dump, and to think that Carlotta is also a Therma who was a sister to Malachite. That when I first played this game, that was like, wait, what? Because I was still waiting who would be the Therma, and we have seen one troll. I think at some point that Sapphire would be the Therma at that when I played this first time, but yeah, it's Carlotta. Yeah, that would come. Well, to be honest, if Malachite could have tell that little fact that what we were looking as Therma is not a troll, would have been helpful. But like I said, I will end this episode now, and hopefully on next episode we can get this through. I don't know how long the Act 4 is. Maybe not long. Maybe it is. I don't know. But we will see. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.